Okay, I'm gonna look up the specs real
That's
quick.
loose.
What's loose? Yeah, I know.
Is it supposed to be like that?
No, I think the zip ties just moved.
What?
Like they kind of changed position, so it got loose. I'll just have to put new ones on.
You have to tighten them.
Can't tighten them because they're cut off.
You can still tighten them.
God, you love to argue.
No, I was just saying, like, you can
I have so many things in my bag that I could stab you with.
Yeah, but they'd kill me. Most likely.
Meh. I fail. Okay, so. Oh, jeez. This is terrible. So, we're out here at the Fairgrounds Park. That's where we race at to test out this new camera. It's the Runcam Eagle 2 Pro. And, so there's been a few reviews out on this camera already. Bardwell's reviewed it. RC Addict, Oscar Liang wrote about it on his blog. But I feel like the one thing that they didn't cover very well was the field of view. So I messaged Runcam and asked him if I could test one, because this is the first CMOS cam with a really wide field of view. So, I mean, if you go all the way back to the Eagle last year, I got one of those last October. And the problem with pretty much all CMOS cameras is they have about 130, 140 degree field of view. And once you get used to, you know, like a 1.8 or a 2-point lens, I mean, you can't go back to that. It's just, it's too narrow. It's too narrow for like everything, if you ask me. It's too narrow for my long range quad. So the Eagle 2 Pro got announced, and they said in 16:9 mode, it had 170 degree field of view, which is the same as a 2.1 lens, and I think it comes with a 2.1 lens. So I really wanted to try one. So is it as wide as a 2.1 lens on like something like a Micro Swift? No, not quite. Or when I say wide, I mean vertically, because that's what's important for racing. And it's a little shorter vertically than a Swift with a 1.8 or a 2.1 lens, but just a little. It's like, it's still way taller than a typical CMOS cam. So in my opinion, this is the first CMOS camera, you know, high resolution camera that's wide enough for racing. And that's, to me, that's kind of a big deal, because, you know, CMOS cams like the Monster, even the Sparrow, the Eagle, they've always had a better picture than a CCD camera, but they're not meant for racing because of that field of view issue. I don't know why it took a year for somebody to make a CMOS camera with 170 degree field of view, but I've been waiting for it for a long time. So overall, yeah, you know, typical like, you know, Eagle 2 Pro benefits. It's got great image, great dynamic range, handles multiple lighting conditions great. I took it outside my house last night, and it's like in front of my house in the street, it's like pitch black, and you could like see the trees across the street. They were like a funky color, but you could still see them. You flew it, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I'm not the best with like determining which is better, but it's definitely a clear image as far as for resolution. You can see things a lot better, no more ghost branches.
So with as much tilt as I have on here, would you say that it was enough for racing?
No.
Not enough? Well, you could always tilt it. You know what? I lowered the tilt for you because I didn't want you to crash my quad.
Yeah.
Do you think you could race with the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't think it would like hinder you? Hold you back? No? How'd you feel about racing a 6-inch on 5S?
It's fast.
Yeah? Do you think you could get used to racing that over a 5-inch quad on 4S?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Did it with one pack. Just add a couple of gates in.
It's not perfect, unfortunately. And again, with it being a 16:9 sensor, I don't know if it's possible to get the same vertical field of view as a CCD camera. And that might just be, you know, that might just be a limitation of 16:9, but it's like the closest thing that I think we've gotten to a good CMOS cam for racing. I might, and it's also wider horizontally. I've never seen a camera do that. Like I compared this with 3 different cameras last night in my kitchen, and it's horizontally wider than any other camera I have, which is kind of weird. And I'm not sure, I'll have to do like some detailed comparisons to see how that plays out on a racetrack. I'm not really sure. But this might, at this point, I need to fly it some more in different lighting conditions because it turned out to be sunny. And it's like, it's Thanksgiving. And it turned out to be sunny and like 60 degrees, which is really weird. So I want to fly it in some different lighting conditions, you know, cloudy, parking garage, to really get a good feel for it. But this is the first time that I've considered using a CMOS camera for racing. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Say bye, Zero.
Bye.
Such a goober.